Hi, good morning China. Here is Ecke from Germany in Rosenheim, south from Munich. I want to tell you something about the new Eclipse Momentics IDE and how to use this IDE to create awesome BlackBerry mobile apps. Who am I? I'm Ecke and I'm an independent software architect, an ERP consultant, and I'm talking at conferences, I'm trainer and also writer of articles. Overall, I'm open source enthusiast and I like Eclipse and use Eclipse since many years. But overall, I'm always making business applications for small and medium-sized companies since more than 30 years. Last 5 years I did mainly mobile development for Android 4 and BlackBerry 10. My focus is clearly on BlackBerry 10 and I'm also a member of BlackBerry Elite. I'm doing applications for companies like from waste and recycling or service cars, just writing a service car application for BlackBerry 10. But I also did a utility like a T-timer. I needed a T-timer utility and missed this on BlackBerry 10, so I wrote my own. Today I want to talk about Eclipse Momentics IDE and how to create awesome BlackBerry mobile apps. Eclipse is used as a base and together with CDT, the environment to write C and C++ applications. All this together is the Momentics IDE, the Eclipse IDE used by QNX since many years. QNX is the heart of the new BlackBerry 10 operating system, and they added something more, a Cascades plugin. What's Cascades? Cascades is coming from a company in Sweden, the Astonishing Tribe. This company was bought by Wim, now named BlackBerry, and they wrote a new UI framework for BlackBerry 10. And I want to demo you what you can do with this. What do you need? So you can download the Eclipse Momentics IDE for free. And the next you need are some signature keys. BlackBerry apps are secure and must be signed before you can submit them to the BlackBerry world. Also, these signature keys are free. Then you have to register at the BlackBerry world as a vendor. It's free. You develop your apps and submit to BlackBerry world, all for free. And now let's see how easy to start development. Here's the demo. So we are starting Eclipse Momentics, and at first you get a new welcome page. This welcome page is your main center where you have access to all you need. From here you can go directly to the support forums, ask questions and search for things you want to know. From here you can go directly to the documentation, and this documentation is really great. It's separated by different areas, or you can also search for the API and see what is there. So here's the contact service, and always you see information what to include. If you're developing in C++, you know the methods, and so this is only one click away. Also on this welcome page you have access to the sample apps. The sample apps are grouped by categories. Here's app integration, where you find all about BBM, Twitter, accounts, data management, device and communication, location, multimedia, platform, UI, and I really recommend that you go through these samples. It's only a one click away and you have this sample imported into your workspace. All samples by BlackBerry are at GitHub and they are licensed with Apache license, so you can copy and paste code as much as you want, and this is really recommended. So, okay, what else is important? In the preferences, there you have an API level, and here you decide against which API level you develop. At the moment 10.1 is the level delivered on BlackBerry 10 devices. There's also the new 10.2 beta, or you can write applications for the previous 10.0. So, next thing, let's take a look at the perspectives. We need some perspectives, and here you see QML editing. We need this to define our UI. This is the perspective you are using for your daily work. Also, you should add the debug perspective and some more QML perspectives to test your code, to have a profiler and see about your code coverage, memory analysis, and so on. As next, let's see what views are important. So we need the console and also QML editing is all included. QNX targets. These two views you should also import into your workspace. Okay. Now we have prepared our workspace and we can try a first project. So let's do a new BlackBerry project for Cascades. We really start easy with an empty project. Name it Eclipse Day. Choose our API level and it's created. Also, now we can take a look at the project structure. Here's our project Eclipse Day. Here are all JavaScript resources you can use. In our QML editor you can combine JavaScript, and here you can take a look which commands, which functions are supported out of the box. You can also import your own JavaScript resources. You can start developing for BlackBerry 10 only with knowledge from JavaScript, and later on go and see what can you do with C++ and Qt and so on. Here's a source folder. These 3 files are always generated for a new project. The main CPP, you can leave this untouched, and here is your application. This does out of the box the translation for the languages you want to support, and here is a place where you can insert more code to communicate between your C++ application and your QML UI. Next important folder are the assets. Here is the main QML generated for you, and in this case we only have a page. You always get an hover, see what you can do. There's sample code and descriptions, and as you know, you always have here the access to the documentation and can see what you can do with a label, with a container, with a page. Not only this, if you are a beginner, could be easy to see the properties here in the QML properties view. So let's drag it over. Here above is the outline of your UI, and here it changes. We have a container, we have a label, and what can you do with the label? You can give it an ID, my label, and immediately you see it's inserted here into your code, and you can decide, should this be multi-line or not. Now you see multi-line is true. If you remove it, it's false. Of course, you can all of this do directly from the editor, and this is the normal way as soon as you have learned what you can do. You only type the first letter and you see what's possible. Multi-line, max height, max width, min width, and say multi-line, and then you can say true. And there are more options for the text format, font styles, font alignment, font color, visible or not, transparency. You can set the margins, can say left, right, margins. You have different layout properties, how to align your object. You can transform, rotation, scale it, translate the X or Y position, and also can add some actions for touch, context, key listeners, and more. So if you begin, it's always a good idea to take a look at the properties to see what's possible, to take a look at the hover, and to take a look at the documentation. To add something more, so we have one label here and you want to take another object, you can type it in here. You can say I want to have a new label or a list view, or you go here to the components. Here's the components view, and here are all the controls: checkbox, date time picker, a divider, drop down, image buttons, image views, picker, progress indicator, radio group, scroll view, a slider, or a toggle button, and you can easily drag and drop it into your IDE. Now again, you get immediately the description of the toggle button, and here you see what's possible. Or you type something, we have an ID, my toggle, say it should start with checked, and then you can say what happens if the user clicks on this. There are signals sent to you, and you can see here, oh, on, checked, changed. What am I getting? I'm getting a boolean checked, and then I can say if checked, do something, we do a console debug output checked plus checked. Okay, you have seen all UI components via drag and drop or from the code, properties here, or directly typing, good documentation. Inside your assets folder, you should also create another folder for all your images. And here you will place your images, and you can drag and drop images in. So we will drag and drop an image. Here's one. And as next, we do it here from the code. Say we have an image view, and this image view has an image source. This comes from the asset folder inside the images and Eclipse Day. So always code assist, always easy to type. And here you see you can have a preview here. Here's a preview what you have done. You can see the preview on different devices, how it looks. Here's a keyboard device with a dark theme. Here's a touch device. Or you can simply create and run this project. This is a new workspace. So here are the important buttons. You can build your project, you can run it on a device, you can stop it. You cannot only run it, you can also debug it or profile it or build a release. Here you select your projects, and here you select your device. So now we have no device connected. We want to manage devices. And to manage your device, you have to set up a new BlackBerry device, and you can connect your device via USB or via Wi-Fi. I want to do it via Wi-Fi, and I need the IP, and so we take a look at our device. So here's our BlackBerry device, and at first you have to go to the settings, and in the settings you have to go to security, development mode, and your device must be set to development mode. So okay, done this. Our IP network, okay, 1.4. Now we can go back. Okay, set up a new BlackBerry device using Wi-Fi or using USB. IP, password, now the debug token will be written to the device. To make this, you have to import your signature keys before. Okay, we have this device now here, and the next we can do is we can build our project to see if there are any errors. Nothing. And we can say run the project, and this will bring the application to the BlackBerry device. Here it is. Here is our application. And you can do all what you want with this. Here's a short demonstration of an application some students built attending a workshop about cascades, so you can see what is possible. Here we have a system toast. This is a dialog, some images for the structuring of your application. You have a tabbed pane, and on one tab you can stack more pages. You can always peek back to the previous page, next page, next page. Here you see the complete stack back to the root or to the last page. You can even change the content while peeking back. Here's an animation running while you are peeking back, or you can go home to the root. Here's a segmented control, changing the content. This switches the color on and off. And here's a single page starting with an animation. And here we have a list view, a group list view, switching the content, all done from JavaScript. Here can take a look at one record and can peek back, see which line is selected, and from here you can say I want to create this as a contact. Then the contact card comes in, and this is done through the invocation framework. Can swipe up. Okay, let's go back to the IDE. So here in the IDE, you see here's our console log checked 2. This was the one we did. Okay, some more things you can do in your page. You can also add some actions. This is an array, because there can more, and one action item. Each action item gets a title, and normally an image. If you have no image, then a default image will taken, and you can say what should happen if this action will be triggered. Do something, and actions can also be started not only by tapping on an action, they can also be started using a shortcut. So, what are shortcuts? Shortcuts are only for all the BlackBerry 10 devices with a built-in physical keyboard, like the Q10 or Q5. And there are system shortcuts or normal shortcuts. So you can define your own shortcuts and say key if an X will be pressed, then this shortcut should be executed. And it will automatically do the same as you have done here for the on triggered action. If using a touch device, the shortcut will have no function. Here now we see we have here an action in the overflow menu, and if you choose this one, it would do what you have coded here. Okay, actions. I talked about the target file system navigator. All BlackBerry 10 applications are secure and living in their own sandbox, but from your IDE you have access to this sandbox, and so also our Eclipse Day sample is here. We can go into the sandbox. We can see what is stored inside the sandbox, what is stored on your device in the shared area, and so you can from here copy to file system or back. So the last thing I want to show you is the bar descriptor XML. Here you describe your application with a name, your vendor. Here are the permissions. You have to check if you need access to some things like the contacts or the camera. Here are your assets. And for the localization, here you simply add the languages you want to add. Perhaps have different icons for languages and different descriptions. And so this is the bar descriptor XML describing your application here. So it's really easy to start with Cascades. Go through all these samples. Click on one, it's imported into your workspace, try it out, go to the assets folder, see all the UI description in the QML files, take a look at the sources and copy and paste to your own one. So have fun and good luck with your own applications. Now back to the slides. So thanks listening to me. Hope all is well with you in Peking, and I wish you a really great day at the Eclipse Day China, and perhaps some of you will try it out how easy it is to develop BlackBerry apps. For this presentation I also use the CamHolder. It's an open source project by Heiko Behrens, a developer who has built this awesome holder to make it easy to record. Now the real fun. Here's my question on BlackBerry 10 development. The first one giving the right answer will enhance his or her chances to win a brand new BlackBerry Q10 device. And here it is. What are shortcuts? A. Command key in Momentix to run an app. B. Command key for Cascades action item. C. Actions on key pressed in Cascades if running on Q10 or Q5. Have fun